So I know I'm a bit late when it comes to this party, but we finally have it. We finally have the Apple Vision Pro with us here in the UK, and I cannot wait to try this thing on. So yeah, let's get straight into the unboxing. Now, I can already tell that this is going to be quite a big package. Definitely a lot bigger than what I'm used to from Apple. But yeah, let's start off with the side tabs. So satisfying as always. And then the other one. Interestingly, the arrows on these side tabs are red this time. Usually they're green. So I don't know if that's meant to indicate something different about the Vision Pro compared to standard Apple products. But yeah, now it's time for the grand reveal. This is always the hardest part about unboxing Apple products, is the boxes take forever to open. But yeah, here we have it. In all of its glory, the Apple Vision Pro. Let's quickly put the Vision Pro to the side for now, because I just want to see what else we get included inside of the box. So we get this nice cardboard stand for the Vision Pro. And this is where we have all of our documentation. So designed by Apple in California. Let's see if we get anything in here. Oh, so we get a polishing cloth in here too. Yeah, this polishing cloth definitely feels very premium. Okay, so let's quickly put this to the side. Then we get some more documentation. So yeah, quite famously, the Vision Pro has a lot included inside of the box, which you would expect for a $3,500 headset. But yeah, if we take this out, let's see. Okay, so this is pretty nice. So we get an entire booklet on how to use the Vision Pro. That's definitely a very nice touch from Apple. Okay, let's put the booklet to the side for now. Oh, that smells really good. Okay, let's see. So we've got another dual loop band in here. So yeah, obviously the Vision Pro comes with two bands. There's this normal side band that goes like that. And then you've got another band which I think is meant to wrap around your head in case the normal band isn't comfortable enough for you. But yeah, we'll get into that when we actually try on the Vision Pro. We also get a 30-watt power adapter. That's USB-C. A braided USB-C to USB-C cable, which I'm always a fan of, although I wish they had a black version of this. And then we have the infamous battery pack. So the Vision Pro, quite famously, has to be connected to a battery pack in order for it to work. Presumably because if Apple included the battery inside of the headset, it would just get too heavy, which a lot of people have already complained that the Vision Pro is. So yeah, and I can definitely tell that this battery pack feels quite heavy. Let's take the packaging off. And yeah, this battery pack is just built like an absolute brick. Right, I think that should do us for the actual unboxing. Now let's get into trying on the Vision Pro itself. Okay, so let's just put everything to the side for this turning on. So we have the Vision Pro itself. It has this nice sort of cushion case thingy on it. I don't know what you would call it, but I presume that if we take this off... Oh wow, okay. This is pretty cool. So this is the Vision Pro itself in all of its glory. I don't know if you can see, but you can tell that there are a bunch of cameras and sensors inside of this thing. And yeah, it just looks so high-tech and futuristic. Quite ironically, I think it does also look like a pair of aviator sunglasses. In fact, I've got a pair here. Let's see. Do you notice the resemblance? So, yeah, I mean, everyone's saying that they look like ski goggles, but I think aviator glasses are also an appropriate description. And yeah, just from first impressions, I have to say, it looks and feels incredibly premium. You know, with the all glass design on the front and this sort of soft texture on the headband. You can see on the side we've also got these bumps. which are actually for the speakers. But yeah, I think let's get into trying this on. So if we take this off, I don't know what that does. Okay, let's put that back on. Yeah, let's try this thing on for the first time. Okay, so here it comes. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's not turning on. Why isn't this thing working? All right, okay, so I obviously forgot that you're meant to connect the battery pack to the Vision Pro before it can work. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Okay, so it goes onto the side and you, I guess, try and click it in. Oh, this is a bit awkward. Why is this thing not fitting in?
A few moments later.
Okay, so we are back 2 minutes later. So the way this charging puck is meant to connect is you have to sort of twist it in order for it to stay in place, which I don't know how I feel about that because that was not a seamless experience. But yeah, now we can finally try the Vision Pro on. And, oh, okay, so it's lit up. So press the power button and align. So one thing that I'm immediately noticing is that because I'm in sort of a darkly lit room, I can sort of tell that I'm looking through a set of cameras because there is a lot of noise in this room. Yeah, everything sort of looks quite grainy. In fact, if I look at my iPad, I think I can barely even tell the time. I think it's either 6:50 or 7:50. I can't tell. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's just the limitations of the technology that's in this thing. You know, you are using a pair of cameras, which means you're going to get into the same issue that any camera has. Okay, so we're now setting up Optic ID, which is basically, oh, okay, so now I need to select a passcode. So let's select, oh no. Okay, so I guess that's one sort of benefit of the Vision Pro is that nobody can see what you're actually typing on this thing. Because, you know, everything is done through your eyes. So hypothetically, if you were typing in a password, you know, nobody would have any way of seeing. So from a privacy standpoint, you know, the Vision Pro actually is pretty good in that sense. Unless, of course, you're using a keyboard and you're typing, you know, then everyone's going to see what you're doing. And I'll obviously test the keyboard in just a few minutes. But we are now setting up the Apple ID. Okay, now we've got welcome to Apple Vision Pro. Okay, let's recall what I'm seeing. Okay, so hopefully you should see everything that I'm seeing. So you can see my entire setup. Yeah, so I guess this is the bit where all of us YouTubers get exposed for having makeshift setups. But you can see my iPhone there, my key light there, my MacBook and iPad in front of me. You can sort of tell that everything looks grainy. At least I imagine that you will be able to. And yeah, that's because, like I said, we're in sort of a dark lit environment. But if I press the digital crown, you can see that we have all of our apps. And as my eyes are looking, we're switching between different apps. Let's see what other apps that we get. Okay, so why is Keynote open? I did not want to open Keynote. Okay, so how do I get out of this? So I press the digital crown. Okay, so you look at the bottom like that. You've got compatible apps. So these are the default apps that are included, basically just based off of iPadOS. Let's try out the environments. So the Vision Pro, quite famously, if you turn on the digital crown, you should be transported into these 3D virtual environments. And it looks like I'm in some sort of snow desert. I don't know if this is Antarctica or not. Well, it's probably not because there are plants here. This feels really cool. Let's see if there are any other environments. Hey, let's see. Okay, so the Mount Hood is... Okay, wait, this isn't Mount Hood. This is Yosemite. Whoa, this is actually pretty cool. That is dope. Feels like I'm actually in Yosemite. Wow. And okay, so you can see here my hands are sort of breaking the illusion of me actually being here. That's again because of the noise and the fact that I'm in a darkly lit room. So this is quite a harsh test, admittedly, but you know, if we ignore the hands, this just looks extremely immersive. Yeah, I wonder what happens if I start moving. Oh, okay. So the environment blends away, so you can't just like walk towards the mountain, which I guess I wouldn't expect. But I mean, you can imagine in like 10 years time, like having an entire video game map which you can actually explore using the Vision Pro. I feel like that would be sick. Wasn't there that game like a long time ago where people would actually be walking on the street, like playing the game? Okay, I don't know what I'm on about at this point, but let's try out another environment. Okay, so let's go to Mount Hood, which is, you know, the one that everyone talks about. And yeah, the amount of attention to detail Apple have put into these environments is absolutely insane. I mean, you really have to use this to actually appreciate how real everything looks right now. Yeah, and I guess one thing that's enabling all of this is the fact that I think Apple are using two 8K or 4K displays, and they're both micro OLED displays. So everything looks extremely crisp. I feel like this would be incredible for meditation. Now, I know one thing that a lot of people have been asking about is the field of view, because obviously, you know, there is sort of like a bezel around the Vision Pro. So you don't get like a full 360 surround sound experience because, you know, there are sort of like lines cutting off the vision. I'll try draw like a thing on the screen so you can actually see what I'm on about, because I can't really describe it in words. But to be honest, the field of view, I didn't even notice that there were sort of like bezels around this thing. It feels like this is what I would actually be looking at. Okay, so let's do away with the environment. So if we twist the digital crown, we should be able to return back to reality, as Eminem once said. Now, I know another thing that a lot of people have been asking about is the weight of the Vision Pro. And to be honest, I haven't really noticed too much of an issue yet. Obviously, you know, I've only been using this for like 10 minutes, I think, at this point. But I can't really feel the weight of this thing. So yeah, I mean, I guess the solution, if you're somebody who struggles when it comes to wearing the Vision Pro for long periods of time, is just go train your neck at the gym. But yeah, I mean, for now, I'd say the weight is not too bad. But one thing that I do want to test out is using a mouse and keyboard with the Vision Pro. So let's move this iPad to the side. So we've got the Magic Keyboard and the Magic Mouse here. So let's go into settings, Bluetooth. And let's hope that the Magic Keyboard shows up. I don't know if this is going to show up or not. Oh, it's because they're not turned on. I keep doing this. Keep forgetting to turn on my gadgets, and then I wonder why they're not working. Okay, yes, Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse. I wonder how a mouse is going to work in a 3D environment. That'll be interesting to see. So the Magic Keyboard is connected. So do we... Oh, okay, so we've got Spotlight Search. Does the mouse work? No, the mouse does not appear to work. Okay, let's go into... What should we go into? I'm going to go into Notes. So go Notes, Open. Why is it Open Safari? What? Okay, let's go back into the home page. Yeah, this is not as seamless as I thought it would be. And for some reason, they've used a weird icon for the notes, which is a bit inconsistent from Apple. But yeah, let's create a new note. Is there a way we can resize windows? Ah, yes. So if you look into the corner, you'll see that we get this weird sort of hook, which is the same hook that we get on the iPad when we use Stage Manager. And that will allow us to resize windows. So yeah, you basically got Stage Manager on the Vision Pro, which probably explains why Apple introduced Stage Manager in the first place, because it's almost like the building block for the Vision Pro experience. But yeah, let's try type something in. So hello, this is my test of typing with the Apple Vision Pro using the Magic Keyboard. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, okay, and if you look down, you can get a text preview. Wow, this is pretty cool. Interesting. And yeah, it looks exactly like how it does on the iPad. You've even got the Apple Pencil stuff. Oh, okay, that's not working. Okay, so let's actually try typing with the actual virtual keyboard, because obviously, quite famously, the Vision Pro doesn't have any haptic feedback, which is kind of obvious, but yeah, it means that typing on this thing is going to be quite awkward without a keyboard. So I think there are two different ways you can type using this. You can either tap your fingers by looking at each letter, or you can actually try and tap the keyboard, which also doesn't appear to be working. Okay, so you actually have to place your hands inside of this thing. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, this is not a seamless experience at all. I reckon if you're going to use the Vision Pro for actual work, you're going to need a keyboard of some sorts. And oh, this is another issue, is trying to figure out how you actually bring a window forward, because there's obviously no mission control on the Apple Vision Pro. That's the keyboard tested. Now, the final thing that I want to test is how this works with the Mac and the mirroring the display feature, because quite famously, one of the headline features of the Vision Pro is the ability to connect your Mac to the Vision Pro and sort of mirror your display. And so yeah, you can see that I've got my MacBook here. So I've sort of got my own Pro Display XDR in real space. And the first thing I'm noticing is that the refresh rate is extremely low on this. I can definitely tell there's a lot of lag when moving between different windows. And even when I'm moving the cursor. And I don't know if it's me, but I can sort of tell that there are pixels on this display. The resolution is not as high as I would hoped. Let's see if we go into Notion, so I can tick off the stuff that I've covered for this review. So showcase personas, 3D environments, working keyboard, Mac mirroring. So yeah, everything works as you would expect. You can't see the Mac's display though, which is interesting. So it just mirrors the display. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, because on the one hand, I can see this being beneficial when it comes to traveling, because you can't really take, a Pro Display XDR or a Studio Display with you when you're going out traveling. And so in that sense, this whole Mac mirroring feature is nice to have, but I don't know if it's something that I would use when I'm at home, because yeah, I don't know, the resolution just feels a bit sort of fuzzy. And the cursor is not moving as smoothly as I would have liked. Also, if any of you are interested in this Vision Pro inspired wallpaper, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. Okay, let's go into the App Store to see if there are any apps. Okay, why have I opened Maps? Okay, yeah, this is kind of annoying me now, because this is not as seamless as I would have hoped. I think I am definitely going to have to do a lot more testing of this in a properly lit room, because this lighting environment and this setup is not doing the Vision Pro justice right now, because yeah, I just cannot navigate through everything here. It's either that or maybe it's just a skill issue. Okay, welcome to the App Store. Say the era of spatial computing is here. God, what? They've got TikTok on the Apple Vision Pro. I'm definitely not installing Zoom on the Apple Vision Pro. That is the last app that I want on here. So you've got Fantastical, Microsoft Teams and OneNote. Oh, Monopoly. Okay, yes, I want to install that. So you can see that a lot of your standard apps from the iPad also work on the Vision Pro. Oh, okay, so these aren't actually designed for the Vision Pro. They're designed for the iPad. And I think the Vision Pro can just run iPad apps on it. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I was wondering, why are there so many apps already on this Vision Pro? Okay, this is cool. But yeah, I think first impressions of this thing, Okay, so now we're returning back to the real world. Ooh, I do notice a bit of eye strain in my eyes. Yeah, I think first impressions of this thing, I'm not as amazed as I would have thought I would have been. And maybe that's just down to the fact that I've already watched a bunch of Vision Pro reviews and a bunch of content online already. So I've almost used this thing vicariously through every other content creator. And so maybe part of the novelty has already worn off. But yeah, I mean, the technology definitely feels quite limiting, especially, you know, with the noise in the cameras and the eye tracking not working properly. So I'll definitely have to test this out a bit more over the next sort of 7 to 14 days. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my full review when it comes out. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about the Apple Vision Pro that you want me to address. But yeah, I think that will do it for the unboxing for now. As I said, make sure to like this video if it was helpful and subscribe for the next one.